Hi guys, it has been a lightning fast week this week. So we picked up on Sunday our two foster bunnies, first foster bunnies. Stormy we knew was only going to be a temporary foster, so that's why we agreed to pick him up as well on Sunday, out of the blue slightly, but we brought Stormy back. Stormy was in the kitchen and he had free roam time, and Harley's been in the little bedroom upstairs. So Stormy has gone to his forever home, which is really good news. It's pending a bond with a bun wife. So if all that goes well, he'll be going to his new forever home with his bun wife. And then we're hanging on to Harley as our foster bunny. So why I went for fostering in the first place was it just felt too soon to be adopting after Poms had passed. I'm not ruling out the consideration of adopting one of our foster bunnies, but just that's how it felt the right thing to do at the time when we lost Pom Pom, and we'll just see how things pan out here onwards. So Harley is settling in really well. He's been litter trained in basically 2 or 3 days. We managed to litter train him even though he's not neutered, and it is slightly harder litter training a rabbit that's not neutered, but he's taken to it really well, and that's a real accomplishment for him. So we've had a really busy week with both bunnies, and it's been really good. So I wanted to share with you a couple of things. One of them is something I got in Poms's memory as well. So these are little plantable seeds. It says in loving memory on them and forever in our hearts. And these are from Macmillan Cancer Research. Now, I lost a grandfather to cancer at the age of 69 in the 1990s. And he's the grandfather who I got my tattoo done recently on this arm, with a sand timer and a clock showing the sands of time. And he said of me when I was younger that I was special and I was destined for great things. So he was a great person to honour. I also lost, as I mentioned in a community post this week, a sister-in-law aged 33 to a very rare form of cancer some 12 years ago. She left behind two very young children, 3 years old and 18 months, my two nephews. And that was very sad as well. So I'm familiar with Macmillan and the cancer research work that they do. And I thought, because Pom Pom passed of cancer, obviously it's different because Macmillan work with humans, not with pets, but this was my sort of way of honouring the fact that he battled with cancer, and he was so incredibly brave. The tenacity that he had, the bravery that he had to go through those operations, those CT scans, and to just keep pulling through each time was something that was just so wonderful to watch, and something that I've really learnt from, and I think a lot of us have learnt from as well. So Macmillan, you can either donate as such, just a donation, or they have a range of in memory items. So I chose to purchase one of these for £20, and they're plantable. So I think what I'm going to do when the weather gets a bit better is plant these in some pots and keep them in the garden, probably in the front garden. So you just put them into the soil, water them, and they will then grow wildflowers, which I thought was poignant because Pom Pom, again, looked like a wild rabbit, was a little wild bunny. So these are the wildflower memories in his name and in his honour. So I was thinking about things that are nice to do in terms of when a loved one passes, especially a fur baby. So there's things like this that you can plant. There's if you have a garden, if you have an area in the garden, you can dedicate a little garden area for them. Put some of their favourite shrubs or plants there, and you can just go and sit there and remember them. You can plant a tree in their honour or in their memory. You can plant seeds. The other thing I was thinking is quite a good idea, which I'm going to do at some point, is to write your loved one a letter. So if you've lost a fur baby this year, sit down and write a letter to them of everything that you would have said to them if they were still here. And that's a way of you getting your thoughts onto paper, expressing those feelings, expressing those emotions in a way that might be difficult to do verbally if they're not actually physically with you. So that's an idea. You want to get pen to paper this week and write a letter to a fur baby that's passed, everything that you'd like to tell them, and then keep that somewhere special, maybe with their belongings and their memories. So that could be something that you're always telling them about how special they are. So that's just one of the things that we've done this week in order to just keep Poms's memory going and keep his memory alive, as we are still doing on the channel at the moment. So what I shared with you at the beginning of the week, that I was suffering with depression. I've suffered with mental health issues in terms of depression and anxiety for a number of years now, and they were kind of lying dormant for quite a while. And I think with everything that happened with Pom Pom, it kicked those off again. So I was struggling a bit and I have reached out for help. Now, I'm not a therapist or a counsellor, and I would advocate that if you are struggling with depression or anxiety, that you talk to a health professional, you talk to a therapist, a counsellor, or even just a doctor and let them know how you're getting on if you feel that it's something that you need help with at this stage. But when I shared with you about suffering from depression, I had a number of subscribers reply back to me saying that they also suffer with depression and with anxiety, and that those feelings sometimes are worsened by grief or the loss of a loved one. So I was just going to share a few things with you without being crass or trying to belittle anything, but it's just things that I thought might be helpful for you this week if you wanted to give them a go. If not, no worries. So the first thing is, if you get a sheet of paper and draw around one of your hands, so the palm of your hand, so you're literally just drawing around each finger on the paper. Then once you have that done on paper, next to each finger, I want you to write the name of one person that you have helped through your entire lifetime. So this doesn't have to be this week or even this month. It's through your entire lifetime, one person that you have helped, right? So you could start off, if you're stuck for a starting point, with Pom Pom or Pom Pom's mummy, because you've all helped me on the channel get through this, and you've all helped Pom Pom. A lot of you donated for Pom Pom's healthcare as well, and that was really well appreciated. So Pom Pom could be the first one, or Pom Pom's mummy if you've encouraged me on the channel, as many of you have done, could be the first one. And then other ones, think about family, friends, fur babies, strangers, just anyone who you've helped in any situation. And once you start thinking of one, others will spring to mind. And then the idea of that is that you have those 5 finger points there. And when you look at your hand or you look at that picture for the rest of this week or the remaining few days, you can then identify that you have helped somebody who was in a situation of difficulty, distress, and that you have made a difference in someone's life. And that's important to hang on to when you're depressed or you're feeling anxious, is to hang on to the fact that you are valuable. Being on earth, on the universe, has chosen you to be here for a reason, and that you are of value in individual lives and individual circumstances in those people that you have helped. So the next thing I want you to do, if it's possible, is draw around your other hand, again, hand on the paper, with a pen, draw the outline of your other hand. It could be next to that one mirroring it. And again, each of those 5 fingers, I want you to take a finger each, and I want on each of these fingers for you to write down something that you appreciate about yourself. So it's really important when you're feeling low and depressed and anxious to hold on to those core values, things that you have that make you who you are and that make you the special person that you are. So on each of those fingers is going to be written something that you appreciate about yourself. Now, I know it's difficult if you suffer with low self-esteem. It's sometimes very, very difficult to talk about yourself in a kind way or to big yourself up in any way. And I don't think it's boastful. I don't think it's pride or boast in any way to say things that you appreciate about yourself. It's just realizing that you are valuable and that you have worth as a person. But there are also traits and things about you that make you special and that make you who you are. If you find that really hard to do, try and think about what somebody else would say about you. So a family member, a friend, a spouse, a son, a daughter, a mother, a father, a cousin, an uncle, a fur baby. What would they say that they appreciate about you? Is it your kindness? Is it your sense of humour? Is it your generosity? Is it the fact that you can make people smile and just feel happy inside? So things that you value about yourself or that you think other people would say that they value about you. Then between those 2 pictures, you then have 10 fingers that you can then look at over the next coming few days and realise that you are valuable in many different ways that you perhaps don't think about on a day-to-day basis. So the last thing I'd like you to do for me this week, if possible, if you do suffer with anxiety or depression, is to either look in a mirror, or if that's difficult, to get a photograph of yourself. You can take a selfie on your camera And you're looking at that photo and you are verbally telling the person in that mirror and in that photo that they are special. Now, it might be difficult to look at yourself and say, I'm special, but it might be easy to look at the reflection of yourself in a mirror or in a selfie picture or a photograph and say to that person, do you know what? I'm going to tell you today, because maybe no one else has said it for the week, that you are special. Now, special was Pom Pom's favourite word. It was his buzzword. He loved the word special. And I'd say it to him repeatedly again and again throughout the day. And there was a set number of phrases that I would repeat to him on a daily basis and that he loved to hear. And I kid you not, every time I reached the word special, he would tooth purr or tooth clacker, which is a sign that they are thoroughly content and enjoying the sound of something or enjoying something that's going on. And special was his absolute favourite word. So use that word today. Pom Pom was special. He is special. It's very hard to talk about him in the past tense now, having just been in the present tense a few weeks ago. But he was special. He is special. A very, very special bunny. And he loved to hear that. And I still say it to his ashes in his castle now. Pom Pom, you are special. And I know if he could tell you anything today, if you're suffering from depression or anxiety, or even if you just had a bad day or a bad week, Pom Pom would love you to hear me say that word special, that you are special. That was something that really, really got him excited, that word special. So give yourself a bit of a talking to today and tell yourself in the mirror or in a photograph that you are special and that you are valued.